Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaimudire. Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 5 chapter 9 verse 16 supreme character of Jada Bharat. So we are continuing. So what happened? Jada Bharat was then made to sit down before the deity of goddess Kali, and they were preparing to kill him, to behead him. But Jada Bharat did not react. He just completely depended on the Lord. At this time, one of the thieves, acting as the chief priest, was ready to offer the blood of Jada Bharat, whom they imagined to be an animal man, to goddess Kali to drink as a liquor. He therefore took up a very fearsome sword which was very sharp, and consecrating it by the mantra of Bhadrakali, raised it to kill Jadabharat. So previously only we saw that Jadabharat did not react, do anything when he was captured, and he knew that he was going to be killed. All the rogues and thieves who had made arrangements for the worship of goddess Kali were low-minded and bound to the modes of passion and ignorance. So rogues and thieves are bound to the modes of passion and ignorance. Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhavaha. Kama, passion, lust. This is all a result of passion. So what happens to those who are bound by the modes of passion and ignorance? They were overpowered by the desire to become very rich. So this is lust. Therefore, they had the audacity to disobey the injunctions of the Vedas. So much so that they were prepared to kill Jadabharat, a self-realized soul born in a Brahmana family. We already saw this, that this beheading a man animal is not in the Shastra. So they had already disobeyed the injunctions of the Vedas. And now they were prepared to kill Jadabharat. Self-realized soul, a devotee, and somebody who was born in a Brahmana family, etc., etc. Multiple great qualifications of Jadabharat, and they were ready to kill him just because they were overpowered by the desire to become very rich. So this we also many times become overpowered by some lower desire to enjoy sense gratification. And that is being driven by modes of passion and ignorance. So we have to be very careful not to encourage our these lower modes. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna recommends that at least we should come to Sattva Guna. Due to their envy, these dacoits brought him before the goddess Kali for sacrifice. Such people are always addicted to envious activities, and therefore they dared to try to kill Jadabharat. Jadabharat was the best friend of all living entities. He was no one's enemy, and he was always absorbed in meditation on the Supreme Person of Godhead. He was born of a good Brahmana father, and killing him was forbidden, even though he might have been an enemy or aggressive person. Even if he were an enemy or aggressive person, he should not have been killed. And anyway, Jadabharat was the best friend of all living entities. In any case, there was no reason to kill Jadabharat, and the goddess Kali could not bear this. She could immediately understand that these sinful dacoits were about to kill a great devotee of the Lord. Suddenly, the deity's body bursts asunder, and the goddess Kali personally emerged from it in a body burning with an intense and intolerable effulgence. Actually, we should understand in Bhagavatam, multiple places it is described that even Lord Shiva, his main role, actually, what he does is to protect devotees, and he also protects the dham. So he's Kshetrapal. All the demigods, they are like, see, goddess Kali could not tolerate. Mm. So we will get all the support in the universe uh, if we have become a devotee of Krishna, and we don't have to worry too much about our material situations. We just have to have faith in Krishna. Yesterday, I'd gone to visit some devotees, and they were telling some, about the preaching that is happening in their, native place, which might be, a small town, village, like that. They were saying there is, and it's North Karnataka, so mostly Shiva's followers. So they were saying there's one grandfather who was 95 years old. And he was not very much, for this Krishna worship and all that, because he's a like staunch follower of Lord Shiva. But then he started, and he thinks, okay, Shiva, Krishna, everybody one, whatever, something, right? But he started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then he became so happy, so joyous in life. And also, he is like, his vision is badly affected, but he is fully confident that Krishna is there with him all the time. So literally, he like speaks to Krishna. Krishna, where is my spectacles? I'm not able to find my spectacles. And then suddenly he finds his hand going to the spectacles, like that. Right. So the whole point is that we should just have faith. We should have faith in Krishna. Okay, avashya rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will definitely protect his devotees. We should not have any doubt. And this incident of Jada Bharat, it just shows that one is, he is not attached to his body. He knows he is the soul. He knows that nobody can kill him. They can end the journey of this body, or the journey of this of the Atma in this body. But that anyway we cannot avoid. If something is destined, it's not like we can avoid it. And he was completely absorbed in the, in meditating and thinking about the Supreme Lord, that he didn't even bother about what was happening around him. We should, again, like I said, we should not imitate such people. But if we also happen to develop this kind of faith in Krishna, Krishna will similarly reciprocate. It's not that it will happen only to some very great devotees who done lot of service to Krishna. No. See, for bhakti simply means depending on Krishna, right? Helplessly, if somebody depends on Krishna, Sharanyam, Sharanam, Sharanyam. He is the one who gives shelter. Like I've said this multiple times, Rama said, even if Ravana comes and surrenders to me, I will accept him. I will forgive him. So it's and Rama says it's my dharma. So the Supreme Lord will anyway protect his devotees. There is no doubt about it. Name bhakta pranashati. But the problem is we don't have faith, right? And who is advanced in devotion? Whose faith is advanced? He is advanced in devotion, not somebody who is sitting on Vyasasana or giving some big classes, or doing some very nice kirtan. No, they may not be advanced. Maybe somebody who's unknown to anybody might be advanced. And because it's an internal state of the faith is internal state, right? That a devotee he has faith in Krishna. He has faith in the words he has heard from Prabhupada. Such a devotee will be fearless in life. So Bhagavatam also says, Bhayam dvitiya biniveshatas syat. Why bhaya? Why fear? Because we think of we are in this duality. Oh, body. We're thinking of ourselves on the bodily platform. Or we think that we are the body. We're recognizing ourselves with the body. Hence there is fear, anxiety, all dualities. Happiness, material distress. But Jadabharat was not on that platform. Hmm. And this one also is important. How do we come to this mode of how do we come to this raise above this passion and ignorance? Krishna tells Arjuna, Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. But for us, the process is actually just to strictly follow devotion, and in course of time, these things will cleaning will happen, right? But only thing we have to take care is we should not aggravate the situation. We should not willingly engage in activities of modern of passion and ignorance. And if in case it happens, then we have to just repent. And we should just repent and go on. We cannot delve too much into this because it's our past conditioning, and we don't have the power to overcome it. We can just beg for mercy and try to be in the association of devotees who are in the mode of goodness. Mm. Because it's very rare to find even devotees in the mode of goodness. Even devotees many a times are in the modes of passion and ignorance. So it's important to practice these things. Mm. And by the process of chanting and reading and service and all that, over a period of time, we will overcome our fallen state. But we need to have faith. The whole thing is about is it's all dependent on our faith. So if you have faith, then we will make progress. According to the Vedic injunctions, only an aggressor can be killed. If a person comes with an intent to kill, one can immediately take action and kill in self-defense. So please note, this is not wrong, because we need the body to make spiritual progress. So if somebody is coming to destroy the body, we can take action. And all the aggressors, Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada talks about aggressors. It is also stated that one can be killed if he comes to set fire to the home or pollute or kidnap one's wife. Lord Ramachandra killed the entire family of Ravana because Ravana kidnapped his wife Sita Devi. However, killing is not sanctioned in the Shastras for other purposes. The killing of animals in sacrifice to the demigods is sanctioned for those who eat meat. This is a kind of restriction for meat eating, not a license. It's a restriction. Okay, anyway, considering these points, there was no reason to kill Jadabharat. He was a God-realized soul and a well-wisher to all living entities. Vedas did not at all sanction killing of Jadabharat. Consequently, goddess Bhadrakali emerged from the deity to give protection to the Lord's devotee. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that due to the Brahman effulgence of such a devotee as Jadabharat, the deity was fractured. Look at this. The deity form, which would have been made of some material substance, got fractured. Only thieves and rogues in the modes of passion, ignorance, and maddened by material opulence offer a man in sacrifice before the goddess Kali. It is not sanctioned by Vedic instructions. Okay. So the important thing is that, like again, this modes of passion and ignorance is for asuras, uh, non-devotees. So we have to try not to remain in this, and we have to put some effort. Like I keep saying, this is all tapo divyam, tapa austerities. And if left to ourselves, if we don't want to follow any rules and regulations, then what will happen? Then we will remain in our modes, which is our natural situation, which is a natural fallen situation. So by trying to follow some rules, we will try to control our lower modes. It may or may not be possible, but we should sincerely try. But by not willing to follow any rules and regulations, we are just letting ourselves loose. We are already very pretty much, we act loosely on the modes of passion and ignorance, right? And if we, even after coming to bhakti, if we don't want to follow rules and regulations, then We will be giving free license for ourselves. Like, yesterday one class I was discussing about this doing things uh, not approved by our acharyas. For example, playing guitar in kirtan, right? Or this djembe, bongo, all these kinds of non-traditional instruments. Mm, uh, uh, Offering pizza, pasta, all these are not approved. As in, it's not part of traditional devotional practices. Now, we will allow ourselves to do all this and call this dovetailing, which basically means just allowing ourselves to remain in the lower modes. That's all. That's all it is. So if you don't want to follow some rule, and we should understand, okay, I just want to remain in this lower mode, so I don't want to follow any rules. Following rules protects devotees, prevents them from remaining in the lower modes. And by doing that and chanting Hare Krishna and following activities of bhakti, we will raise ourselves. Automatically, we will come to the higher platforms. And we have to come to Sattva, without which we cannot come to Shuddha Bhakti. We can't come to Shuddha Sattva without coming to Sattva, right? And Shuddha Sattva basically means pure goodness. So goodness, we have to at least come to mixed goodness, material goodness first. Mm. So, and Krishna is so merciful actually. So I want to share one incident that happened in my life. So I used to be generally very passionate when I used to drive. I used to tell people very proudly saying that I must have been some driver in my past life. But it's not good. It's not good, right? And because I've been actually trying to give up or reduce this passion and ignorance. Then one day, what happened? Krishna created some situation such that um, like some apparent accident happened because of me driving very fast. And post that, now I cut down my speed completely. So which means that if we are sincere, enough in trying to make progress, Krishna will also very mercifully facilitate it. He will create situations such that we can actually make progress. So now one aspect of my Rajoguna is cut out, which is to drive at crazy speeds. Especially, I travel to Hulimau on nice road, which is pretty vacant. They can go at 90, 100, whatever. Now I made it a point that I don't cross the allowed speed limit. 80 means 80, 60 means 60. Because this is Sattvaguna. This is trying to nurture Sattvaguna. Second practice is Kirtan. Slow down Kirtan. Normally, in Kirtan means suddenly devotees want to go to the fast, higher, this one speed. No, we can remain on the slower Kirtan. Will also help us to control our uncontrolled, passionate mind. Third, very important for most practicing devotees is japa. So one thing I recommend to all devotees is to chant not in one breath. We chant the whole Hare Krishna mantra, right? Like we start Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is in one breath, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But if you see, this also is in the mode of passion. So if you want to basically reduce the speed of our mind in fast is externally mode of passion, and it is an internal state. So if we control the external, the internal will also slowly get controlled. So the way we should chant is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Pause for 1 second. Take a breath. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So what will that do? It will increase the time taken for chanting. So if you do this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. This is very fast japa. And you might finish japa at this speed in 1.5 hours, 1 hour 35 minutes. But if you chant like this, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So you will take 2 hours minimum. So now from taking 1 hour, 40 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes to 2 hours, 2 hours, 5 minutes, unless we are in the mode of goodness, we cannot lose that 20, 25 minutes in our day. So it will force us to become a little more sattvic. So like this, we should try. We should observe in our own life. So these are some examples in my own life how I am, different aspects of my life, and there's still other aspects. One another aspect that I'm trying to practice myself is I'm so much in the mode of passion that I don't let other people complete their speech also. I have ready answers, or I assume that I have ready answers, and then I interrupt their speaking. So that is also something that I'm trying. That patiently just wait for somebody who is speaking to finish their sentence. Then you can speak. So like this, we can if we observe ourselves, introspect, we can find out that we have so many aspects of our life which are in passion and ignorance. So then we should slowly try, try to reduce this passion and ignorance. Ignorance is sleeping more than required. Um, mm, yeah. So yeah, things like this, right? So we can try to bring down post passion and ignorance, because it's very, very important. Because see, otherwise we cannot come to this stage of completely Brahma. That's Brahma Bhuta. So to come to Jada Bharat, just the Brahma Bhuta, that just not getting affected by material situations, and he'll be Prasannatma. So for that, if we are in passion and ignorance, we can't be Prasannatma. Only if you are in sattva, we can be Prasannatma. Actually, another aspect of passion is, suppose you're trying to do something and it didn't work, and suddenly you are on, next, you increase gear. You want to now try something else. Try something else. Mm, may not be required. You tried something, and if it didn't work, maybe you can try a second time, but maybe not more than 2 times. And just say accepting it. That's also goodness. So shama, dama, all this. Eating too much, eating too much prasadam is also not good. It will not help us control our tongue. So things like this, we have to be like, we have to be Krishna conscious. See, that's the whole point. If you observe all these activities that I was speaking, these are all non-Krishna conscious. Mm. Madhumangal is Krishna conscious, and still he eats lot of prasadam in spiritual world, in Goloka. Mm. Mm. We can be like him if we can. But he does that also for the pleasure of the Lord, because Lord likes these pastimes of Madhumangal. Mm. Mm. He is the son of Sandipuni Muni. Mm. Right, Krishna and Balaram bring him back. When Sandipuni Muni asks him, saying that, we've lost our son, can you bring him back? So Krishna and Balaram bring him back from Yamaloka. And then after that, Madhumangal stays with Krishna in Vrindavan. So he is very, very, he's a jester, joker, right? And is all his mostly around eating, because he's a Brahmana, right? But all that he does just for the pleasure of Krishna, because Krishna likes it. He's not eating for his own happiness. So we have to control, we have to control some of these things. I've seen devotees, if suppose say there is some prasadam which is not to your liking, to their liking, they don't eat. They don't take it also. They don't even like. They don't even accept the mercy, prasada. Most devotees look at prasadam as food. But prasada is prasada. It's the mercy of the Lord. So today, auspicious day, we can all pray to Guru Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Radharani, Srila Prabhupada, everybody, right? That they can shower their mercy on us. We can develop some control over our lower modes and make progress to live a life which is full of just for the pleasure of the Lord. Very important actually, see, because when we see these Jada Bharat's episodes, I mean, we'll just keep, I multiple times I've read this, I keep wondering, how is it possible? How can somebody just sit like that, like a stone, when he knows that he might just be killed next moment? Even though Shastra is saying that you can take action and kill in self-defense, still Jada Bharat is choosing not to. Yeah, it's just very advanced stage. Krishna. Intolerant of the offenses committed, the infuriated goddess Kali flashed her eyes and displayed her fierce curved teeth. Her reddish eyes glowed and she displayed her fearsome features. She assumed a frightening body as if she were prepared to destroy the entire creation. Leaping violently from the altar, she immediately decapitated all the rogues and thieves with the very sword with which they had intended to kill Jadabharat. She then began to drink the hot blood that flowed from the necks of the beheaded rogues and thieves, which is what they wanted to do. They wanted to cut Jadabharat's throat and wanted to offer that blood to Durga, Mother Kali. So she started drinking their blood as if the blood were liquor. Well, this is because she's a goddess in the, as in uh, being worshipped by people in the mode of Tamoguna. So she's displaying all these activities. Indeed, she drank this intoxicant with her associates, who were witches and female demons. Becoming intoxicated with this blood, they all began to sing very loudly and dance as though prepared to annihilate the entire universe. At the same time, they began to play with the heads of the rogues and thieves, tossing them about as if they were balls. It is evident from this verse that devotees of goddess Kali are not at all favored by her. These people were all, these rogues and thieves, they were all trying to worship goddess Kali. She was not happy with them. It is goddess Kali's work to kill and punish the demons. Goddess Kali Durga engages in decapitating many demons, dacoits, and other unwanted elements in society. Neglecting Krishna consciousness, foolish people try to satisfy the goddess by offering her many abominable things. But ultimately, when there is a little discrepancy in this worship, goddess punishes the worshipper by taking his life. Demoniac people worship goddess Kali to obtain some material benefit, but they are not excused of the sins performed in the name of worship. To sacrifice a man or animal before the deity is specifically forbidden. When an envious person commits an offense before a great personality, is always punished in the way mentioned above. Commits an offense, so we have to be very careful. Sukadeva Goswami then said to Maharaj Parikshit, "O Vishnu Datta, Vishnu Datta." Mm-hmm. I thought it was Vishnu Datta. Okay, Vishnu Datta. Those who already know that the soul is separate from the body, who are liberated from the invincible knot in the heart. See, note this. Those who already know means in the realized state, not knowledge state. Realized state, that soul is different from the body. And those who are liberated from the invincible knot in the heart of Aham and Mama, who are always engaged in welfare activities for all living entities, which is spreading devotional service, and who never contemplate harming anyone, are always protected by the Supreme Person of Godhead, who carries his disc and acts as supreme time to kill the demons and protect his devotees. So we don't have to worry. We have to just follow these things. Just try to do welfare activities for all living entities. Don't contemplate doing any harm to anybody. So then the Lord who carries his disc acts as supreme time to kill the demons and protect his devotees. We should not try to harm anybody, but at the same time, we should also not let somebody harm Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON or harm any devotee. We should also be careful about these things. The devotees always take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Therefore, at all times, even if threatened by decapitation, they remain unagitated. For them, this is not at all wonderful. It's not some big thing. Oh, I'm the soul. It doesn't matter. These are some of the great qualities of a pure devotee of Supreme Lord. First, a devotee is firmly convinced of his spiritual identity. He never identifies with his body. He is firmly convinced that the spirit soul is different from the body. Consequently, he fears nothing. Even though his life may be threatened, he is not at all afraid. He does not even treat an enemy like an enemy. Very exalted. Such are the qualifications of the devotees. Devotees are always fully dependent on the Supreme Lord. And the Lord is always eager to give them all protection in all circumstances. See, just this one statement can instill so much fearlessness in us. Devotees are always fully dependent. And Lord is always eager to give them all protection in all circumstances. No, just 2 minutes. We will just contemplate on this. Why do we treat somebody as an enemy? Some important contemplation. Why do we treat somebody as an enemy?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
When we think that something what we may have to achieve, receive, they receive, then
Okay. Okay? Anybody else?
Maybe some time ago they did bad for us.
Yeah. So something they did something that we think is not good for us. So we just say, okay, then this person he doesn't have my interest in his mind, so he's my enemy.
Jealousy.
Yeah, jealousy, enviousness, all this, right? Now, please understand, where is fear coming from? Where is fear coming from? Fear, for example, Prabhupada keeps giving this example, right? Like you're seeing is a dream, there's a tiger, and you're shouting, tiger, 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 but there's no tiger.
This is ignorance and lack of faith.
Okay.
From the mind, Prabhu. I mean, it's like it's imagining.
Yeah, mind.
Things, imagining.
Mind. It's all imagination. Half of our problems in our life is just our mind. And mind is not the root cause. What is the root cause? What is the root cause for mind to be the way it is?
Desires.
influence of modes of nature.
Senses.
Okay, go deeper. Indriyani paranyahur. Indriyabhya
Intelligence.
param manah. Manasastu para buddhi. After buddhi, what is there above buddhi?
Atma.
False
Intel.
False ego.
Ahankar.
False ego. So it's just because of our false ego that the mind is bringing up all these thoughts of fear, envy, anger. All these anarthas are just because of false ego. What does false ego mean?
that I'm this body.
Yeah, that I am this body. That I am this body. We have to remember this all the time and just understand that mind, because his mind is created in the mode of goodness. So mind is working for false ego, and false ego is jumping up and down. So mind is just saying, oh, okay, my master is jumping up and down. I also have to jump up and down, right? And then it's bringing up all these different thoughts in our minds. All we have to do is just drop the thoughts. Some we can, some we can't. As we make progress in Krishna consciousness, we will start developing the ability, the spiritual strength. This is the lesson in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita on Karma Yoga. Last part of Karma Yoga, Krishna actually talks about this kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhavaha. Then he says that you can control. How? First is you should start from a very early age. Start from an very early age to control the mind and senses and all that. But the direct process or the most powerful process is bhakti yoga. And we should willingly give up this false ego. This is our problem. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Amanina Manadena. Even if somebody doesn't respect us, we should be able to be with, accept it. I'm trying hard. I'm trying very hard to get over this. It's very, very difficult. But we have to keep trying. Because this is the root cause of our existence. This false ego is the root cause of our existence. It takes years of sadhana to be able to overcome this false ego. And the root is the false ego. The what is the indirectly we can understand that the effect of false ego in the behavior of the mind, in the thinking, feeling, willing of the mind. But the root cause is false ego. Right? So by the process of chanting, by bhakti, that we have to start willingly accepting that I am nobody. I am nobody. Only then we can actually get rid of this false ego, and then the mind will automatically come under control. Yeah, so again, like I said, today is a good day. We can pray that we can see, like here, Prabhupada said, right? Jada Bharata was completely convinced that he was not the body. So he was completely established in real ego. So no fear, no duality, no nothing. Doesn't he have a mind? Of course he has a mind. Actually, in the next chapter, when we talk about his meeting with Rahugana, when Rahugana says, ulta, some offensive things to Jada Bharata. Actually, Bhagavatam is saying, for a moment, there was a wave in his mind, heart, like some emotion. But then, because he was so advanced, he was able to check that emotion. And he ignored it, and then he answered with compassion. He spoke to Rahugana. Even though Rahugana was speaking like he knows stuff, and that he was the controller. A very nice, interesting conversation. So, is the false ego, right? So, that is our problem. This body, to attach this miserable, material, temporary body. That's our problem. So we have to keep trying. But don't aggravate the fever. We should not aggravate this fever. What do we do to aggravate fever? Increase bodily consciousness. We should not do that. That is important. Okay. So I'll stop here. Any questions? Anybody? Yeah. Okay.
So, Prabhu, in few of the verses of Srila Prabhupada, I heard that all the rivers, many rivers, all they merge into the ocean, right? So all other Vedic processes followed. Maybe in the later point of lives, they will come to Krishna consciousness, right? So, and yesterday there was a discussion. This is my speculation, okay? That why did not Bharat Maharaj has a guru? So Bharat Maharaj, why? How can we say that Bharat Maharaj did not have a guru? Because he remembers all. For us, we don't remember our past life, what has happened to us, what our guru taught us in our past life. Maybe some point we had some Krishna conscious or somebody gave us prasadam, and for that reason we are trying to improve our Krishna consciousness. Whereas whereas Bharat Maharaj, he went to Gurukul when he was in the body of Bharat Maharaja. He learned all the instructions from the Guru. And in the next Janma, he remembers everything, all the instructions of his Guru. again I mean, it means that he has a guru. He did
No,
not.
that we clarified. No, Mataji only clarified. I just forgot that Bharat Maharaj was the son of Rishabdev. Rishabdev is Supreme Lord himself. So he was
Okay.
their guru. So that is just a
Maybe I
question.
missed this
We didn't.
conversation.
I said like I don't know, and then Mataji replied and shared on the group also. So
Okay.
yeah, so there is that is clear. So he has a guru,
Okay.
right? He had a guru, and
When this conversation happened, Prabhu?
on the group, Mataji yesterday sent the message on the group saying
Okay.
clarifying that it was Rishabdev. Then I said, yeah, I forgot about Rishabdev.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
else?
Okay. Chat conversation. Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. So we'll close here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhyo cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah antapati vaishnavanda ki jai. Samveta Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.